ça. Unity sweet dans l'os. It in the be like highway.
Obstacles standing in the way of achieving his grand designs. Therefore, any American attack or act of aggression providing support to the Israeli enemy against Iran is part of that very same overarching goal, which seeks to enable the Israeli enemy to establish full control over the entire region. This is something we cannot remain silent about because it signifies the confiscation of our nation's freedom, independence, and dignity, its enslavement and humiliation, the distortion of its very identity, the occupation of its homelands, and the plundering of its natural resources, and the establishment of a policy that permits the desecration of blood, honor, land, and sacred sites. Therefore, this battle is the battle of the entire nation, and salvation for the Ummah, glory and victory are found in striving in the path of Allah Almighty, as He said, and fight in the way of Allah, and know that Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing. And Allah the Most High says, O you who have believed, if you support Allah's cause, He will support you and make your steps firm. Indeed, Allah the Most Great has spoken the truth. Accordingly, should the United States become directly involved in any attack or act of aggression against Iran alongside the Israeli enemy, the Yemeni armed forces will unequivocally target its ships and warships within the Red Sea. Indeed, the armed forces are diligently monitoring and tracking all activities within the region, especially those hostile movements directed against our beloved nation. And with God's help, they will certainly take all necessary and legitimate measures to defend our cherished country and its proud, resilient people. Indeed, Yemen, the cherished nation, with its magnificent people, its steadfast, believing leadership, and its valiant, struggling army, will unequivocally stand alongside any Arab or Islamic nation that faces or is subjected to Zionist aggression, or courageously chooses to confront this aggression in its own defense, or to provide full support and unwavering backing for the steadfast mujahideen within the Palestinian resistance movement. We will not abandon our brothers in the Gaza Strip, and we will remain.
As tensions
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Jabari Vok Media. My name is Jamar Jabari, and we are here with Alex Suarez, who will be on very shortly. Yesterday, we had a conversation with Dan Kovalik, and the things that we talked about with Dan Kovalik was about what's going on in Cuba, starvation in Cuba, that is off the behest of the United States government. Also, talking about Iran and how they have defended themselves, because this is a defense. At the end of the day, remember who started this war. I don't know why we're hearing this rhetoric that, oh, these guys are they're losing their navy, they're supposed to give up, all this stuff. This is the idea that the U.S. wants to put in your head. So when they ask for a ceasefire, it sounds like Iran is giving up. But this is the same confusion that we have to continue to hear almost every single day coming out of Donald Trump's mouth, because while he's saying that, he's also saying, oh, we need help to open up the strait. And don't forget, just like as we said, don't forget who attacked first. The Strait of Hormuz was already open before they were attacked. So the reason why the strait is locked down to Israel and America only is because they want you to think that Iran is the bad guy so they can get help. But no one's going to help them. No one's going to save the day. No one wants to be involved with this nonsense. Nobody. Whatsoever. So here we are. 3 weeks. 3 weeks in this war. And it just chaos after chaos every single day. I have a flyer here right to the right of me. If you are in the New Haven, Connecticut, there is a fundraiser, and it's going to be Dixwell Community House, 197 Dixwell Ave, New Haven, tomorrow, 6 p.m. This fundraiser is for the Cubans. This fundraiser is to help and send aid to Cuba. So please, if you are not doing anything, take down this information right here. And if you are in the Haven area, show up and stand in solidarity. The Yemenis have entered the chat. Yemenis have shown up once again. And I am very, very, not surprised, because we have said this was going to happen. Imagine how, and I would love to hear Alex Suarez's thoughts as well on this when he comes on the show. But imagine, we're already 3 weeks in, gas prices are going up. My light bill, I don't even need to talk to anybody. Be like, hey, did your light bill go up? Because my light bill went up. My light bill's up. Gas prices are up. And no telling what else is going to go up. What? Clothes? Food? It's already up. How far more can food go? Will people get their packages on time? Is that going to be a thing? You know what I mean? Will they have enough power to fuel these hospitals? That we haven't gotten there yet. And I don't think we'll get there. Hopefully. But we got to think about these things. We have to penny pinch. We've been penny pinching all year. The year before that, we've been penny pinching nonstop. And here we are again. Here we are again, ladies and gentlemen, in another war. So the Houthis, which is actually their name is Ansar Allah. You saw a video of a translation of the announcement from their spokesperson. So it seems like they're going to lock down their part of the Red Sea, which is the most important part because that is where a lot of transports goes through. And they will be targeting our Navy. So not only is the Strait of Hormuz in trouble for us, but now the Red Sea is in trouble for us. And I would love to see what would the Saudis do, because the Saudis, let's get the response of the Saudis out here. And I hope everyone is having a good day. Please like, share, subscribe. Please, if you can donate to help the show, donate to my Cash App, which is Jabari Media. Cash App Jabari Media. Let's look up what the Saudis' response was. 1 second, guys. Because the Saudis the Saudi government is so not trusted, A little big recap on how the Saudis play a role into this. The Saudis, just like every other country, needs the Strait of Hormuz open. The Saudis need transports to survive. Why? Because the Saudi Arabia is a desert. Nothing grows there. 90% of their food, just like with all the other Gulf states, is similar numbers. 90% of their food comes from transportation. So this war can starve these nations. They can run out. They can be forced to ration. These are real consequences off the behest of Donald Trump. Donald Trump caused this. You know what I mean? Everyone's talking about how the bases and stuff got attacked, and how there is thankfully a reverse liberation for the Sudanese people. Things are turning around for Iraq, what I heard as well too. But no one's talking about. I'm having an issue finding the article that I was reading earlier, but it's okay. But no one's talking about how this can be a calamity for the Gulf states that transport food because they don't grow anything. They don't have farmers there or anything there. Their food is transported through those waters. You know what I mean? And it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. And they know that the people, and here's the crazy part, the people that are under these regimes are not even happy with these monarchies. So this will give them a reason. I mean, you saw the videos of them rejoicing whenever something got hit by Iran. When a base got hit, they had a video and you heard them cheering. Not only were they cheering, but there were riots. People were attacking the embassies. Why? Because the Ayatollah was killed. And as much as they try to say the Ayatollah is this barbarian person, he's a figurehead for their branch of Islam, which is Shiite. You know? He's like the Pope. They killed the Pope. They killed the fucking Pope, basically. And that angered the Middle East. The fact that we did that. The media is just very, weird how they see that as a celebration. This is how dumb the West is. They assume that man was a dictator. So they assume that if he dies, the whole government collapsed. Like it did in Germany. When Hitler killed himself, the whole government collapsed. But then they noticed something. That the Iranian government is not what they were always told. That the Iranian government is different from what they are always told. They have a parliament. They have a president, vice president. They have a military, a sovereign military that has been around for, Iran's over 3,000 years. You know what I mean? They're a world power, a collective of 90 million people, majority Persian descent. Some percentage are Azerbaijani. There's some Armenians as well, too. There's a small Jewish population, which is one of the largest Jewish populations, actually, outside of Israel and New York. It's funny how they never talk about the Jewish people there. I wonder if the Jewish people want to be bombed in Iran. It's very interesting how they pick and choose who's more valuable and who's not. So this is a huge calamity that's just going to get worse and worse. And Iran said they want to make sure that if this war ends, that they will never, ever again be a reason for this to happen again. They do not want this war to ever happen again. This is what they're saying. So who do you believe is basically what I'm saying. Who do you believe and what is the truth? Do you believe Iran is about it? Or do you believe Donald Trump? That Donald Trump actually won like he said he did. But while he's saying he won, Tel Aviv was getting hit with everything Iran had at the same time. This is a very interesting exchange here I want to play. This is
sustain the closure of the Strait of Hormuz?
Indefinitely.
Because it harms your economy too, doesn't it?
For us, it is a fight for survival. For you, it is a fight to sustain the Epstein class and ethno-supremacism in Palestine.
Why do you keep bringing up? Why do you bring up Jeffrey Epstein in this context? What's the logical leap there?
It's very clear. It's very clear who's what class of people are in charge in your countries. That class of people are the people who have control. They're the ones who own the media. They're the ones who control the government. They're the ones who start unprovoked wars time after time. This is not the first war that you've imposed upon this region, or Iran for that matter. And we just saw yesterday a key American anti-terrorist official resigned, saying the truth that we all knew, but you tried to hide. And that is, Iran was no threat to the United States, and that this war was carried out because of the Israeli regime and its powerful lobby. So what I'm saying is basically what he is saying. That powerful lobby is the Epstein. In fact, your government, and this is something that Western media has hid from the public, obviously, because they're Epstein class controlled. But during a major rally in Tehran on Friday, where people were on the streets, they fired missiles at the people.
Who did? Who fired missiles at people on the streets of Tehran?
The U.S.-Israeli jets that fired missiles, they fired it at the demonstrators. But you didn't even know this because your media outlets won't tell you. But they fired on people. But your regimes help the U.S. bomb demonstrators.
Ali Larijani was responsible for the deaths of many thousands of people inside Iran who wanted to protest legitimately against the regime. Tens of thousands of people have been killed in the last couple of months. America and Israel say it was right to target him because of those deaths.
Well, that's your regime propaganda.
Well, no, I'm asking you. I'm asking you straightforward questions, and I am asking you a question which relates to the deaths of tens of thousands of protesters.
Those 3,117 people who were killed, it's your responsibility and the responsibility of your regimes, because you sent terrorists and gave them weapons to slaughter hundreds of police officers and men and countless people on the streets in order to create armed insurrection.
Now, if you're new to that information, now this was a protest that happened. It was multiple protests, and it was definitely used to give an attempt to manufacture consent. And I've noticed that a lot of mainstream journalists are the ones that are still wanting you to believe. Excuse me, let me get my inhaler. I've noticed a lot of mainstream journalists that wants you to believe. Yeah, I love inhalers. That they want you to believe that they killed over 37,000 people. Only mainstream journalists are saying this. The on the ground reports, the actual reports, said that it was about 1,100. What he was saying, 3,100 people about. And the way they were able to confirm this was because of the coroner, and they had IDs. They were able to identify majority of these people. Now, before that happened, it was Mossad that was on Twitter, along with Lizzie Graham. Very weird. Very freaking weird that they did this, man. They were gloating about how they were a part of the crowds. They were gloating about how Mossad was in Iran. And they were handing out weapons to people that were opposition. And there was a clash. And it's sad that over 3,000 people died. It's very awful that it was any numbers. But the West decided to take the narrative on just making it sound like the Islamic regime, the Islamic regime was attacking them deliberately. But you can see on ground, you can see in the news, their news, and all the other news outlets that are not with the Western media narrative, that there was, in fact, Mossad on the ground shooting at police officers, handing out weapons to opposition who were also attacking police officers. Over 200 police officers were killed. This is confirmed. And the issue is that when you are shooting at a state, a government, they will be shooting back. And unfortunately, A lot of people on both sides of the spectrum, whether it was pro-government, anti-government, whoever was Mossad, on all the sides, a lot of people died. And that was an operation that was fully funded and conducted by Mossad. They said it themselves on Twitter. So you can look up the tweets, go on Google. You know what I mean? Nothing I tell you here is a lie. I try to be as transparent as possible. You know what I mean? They use that to manufacture their consent for war. And I just don't understand why. Because they expect people just to believe them. It's a trust me, I know there. It's really different. You know what I mean? And look at this. Oil refineries are being attacked. This is in Iran. Iran also attacked Israeli oil refineries. It's tat for tat. A lot of people are dying in this war. A lot of people on both sides. And just like what happened in that demonstration in Iran, I hate going on this show sometimes when I have to talk about this shit. This shit is heavy, man. Because they're hiding the numbers of how many Israelis are dead right now. And we already know how many Iranians are dead or are dying as we speak. And I feel for my friend Naveed, Professor Naveed from Tehran University. I feel for the people there on the ground. You know, it angers me to hear my president say two things that really tick me off. One thing, Iran, go out into the streets and reclaim your army. When reclaim your government. When I'm seeing people getting murdered, blown to pieces that are trying to run away from bombs, it's just ridiculous. How's it going, CBC voter? Thank you for coming on to the show. Thank you for watching. You know, you're watching these people get their neighborhoods destroyed, their neighborhoods annihilated. You know what I mean? Their neighborhoods are no more because America's not just America and Israel isn't bombing strategic targets like Iran is doing. America and Israel is annihilating people. People who are dying left and right. There is rocket deflection systems that Iran use. I saw a video that they were working, but they can't stop everything. They can't stop everything. Same thing with Israel. They can't stop everything. In Tel Aviv and Haifa is probably like, majority rubble at this point, if not all. But we can't tell the extent of the damage at all right now because they don't want you to see it. So these people are cramped up in bunkers every single day. Every single day. In Lebanon as well, too. Where people are fighting to keep their homelands. Over 400,000 people are displaced in Lebanon right now. The Israelis have invaded again and they want to occupy it and control South Lebanon like they tried to do in the 80s. That ended in the 2000s because Hezbollah arose and defeated Israel, forcing Israel to leave Lebanon. And now they're back because they haven't learned their lesson. They haven't learned their lesson. That's why they're back. Again, this shit is just heartbroken. I'm supposed to have a guest. Okay. So it seems like I can't have Alex Suarez on today. Unfortunately, it's just going to be me. I apologize. These things happen. It's okay. Emergencies happen. Alex Suarez always comes on, so we'll just get him on next week. You know what I mean? Alex Suarez is a friend of the show, so when shit goes down, it's definitely a reason. So it's okay. It's okay. The show goes on. Also, let me plug this in while we are transitioning because I want to talk about Latin America again. But hold up, look at this. Look at this again, please. Like, look at that. It's gonna take a long time. These oil refineries are getting hit and stuff. This ain't no overnight fix, by the way. This is going to hurt these governments. This is going to take years to fix. You know what I mean? Years to fix. Power relief crisis. Please, if you are ladies and gentlemen, please go to Power Relief Crisis. If you are an Instagram, if you have an Instagram account, please go to Power Relief Crisis and help out by donating to people in Gaza. This is the direct way you can donate and help people in Gaza. This is led by volunteer medical students. Excuse me. I have interviewed Nora on the show before. She's a volunteer medical student who helped start this organization, and they have helped over 200,000 people. Like a lot of people. A lot of families have been getting aid directly. And it's really great to know that this is what you can do to help out. So please, if you care about what's going on, and everyone should be caring about this genocide in Gaza, it's still going on while we're at war with Iran. Still going on. If you care, please, this is how you can help. You can donate. So please donate. And also, you can also donate to this show as well, too. Cash App, Jabari Media. All right. So, we talked about Iran. We talked about Yemen. I want to share what I've learned so far with Latin America. Let's go over to it, guys. Like I said, if you came on to see if Alex Suarez, I apologize. Something came up. I just received word. So we will not be able to have Alex Suarez on the show today. Hopefully we'll be able to have Alex Suarez on the show next week. He's a friend of the show, so I'm not worried. Shit happens. It sucks, but shit happens. All right. Now, today is March 20th, guys. And Maduro's case was supposed to be March 17th. But unfortunately, it was pushed back. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, yeah, it says Maduro legal case is moving forward in the U.S. federal court following his dramatic capture. They killed 100. Oh. Dramatic is an understatement. We went and murdered 100 people on estimate, Venezuelans and Cubans, bombed the heart of Caracas, and kidnapped a Democratic elected leader. Dramatic? Yeah. You think so? You think dramatic? How about war crime? Barbaric? I don't know what the shit that AI be putting. Anyway, so Nicolas Maduro next case will be on March 26th, 2026. The hearing was originally set for March 17th, but was postponed due to the scheduling and logistics issues. So, what is the logistics? Because first of all, you can't. Number one, they won't allow him to get his own proper representation. Why? Because he'll win the case. Especially when the feds just walk back, and let's get that article up, saying that the feds walked back and said that there was no existence of the cartel in Venezuela. After they caught him, they said the cartel don't exist. They did it quietly. You know what I mean? So you can't charge him for being a drug narcos kingpin that you wanted to like originally call him for. You know what I mean? Here's the article right here. Let's pop it up. Let's pop it up. And like see just how dumb this fucking government is. Like see like no, we're not subscribing. Sorry. This is from The Common Dream. The headline itself just says it all, folks. Oh, it did pop up. Here we go. Here's the headline. After claiming Maduro was its kingpin, DOJ now admits in court that the Cartel de la Sol isn't a real group. So, what is he locked up for? What is he in solitary confinement and only gets an hour, 3 hours of stretch time out of the week, which is crazy. So he's locked up for majority, and they're treating him like he's the most biggest drug narcos criminal on the planet when the Fed said he's not anymore. So what is he locked up for? Do you hear this fishiness? This is why I think he's going to walk. Sooner or later, they're going to let him out. And he's definitely not going to come back and be president. He's going to like probably do like what the homie from Bolivia did when they tried to get him. He's probably just going to live quiet life, go home with his wife. His wife gets representation. His wife can use whoever she wants to use to defend her case. But he can't. Why? Because he'll win. They do not have hard evidence or a case, really. And this is why it's postponed. I won't be surprised. I want to keep watch on this because I think it's going to be postponed again. Because I think they know damn well that they know damn well they don't have a case. You know what I mean? They know for a fact, guys, that they don't have a case. No case. So I don't see the point. Do y'all see a point? Why keep a man when we grabbed him because he said because he is a part of the drug trade. And then our government, after we lock his ass up, say, oh, he's not a part of the drug trade. Furthermore, actually, the drug trade does not even exist that we claimed him to be a part of. But we're just going to keep him in prison still. They did this with Alex Saab. Alex Saab did some time. Hell, the dude from WikiLeaks, Jesus Christ, he did some time, So I think he's going to be in there for a minute, and then they're just going to let him go. Because they don't have nothing on him. They can't really prove nothing on Nicolas Maduro. So they're going to let him go. That's my guess. To the less than 10 people watching. Hold me up to that. Now, Delcy Rodriguez. Let's talk about Delcy Rodriguez real quick. And, there is a narrative. This is an old article, but we're just going to bring it up. Oh, no, I want to get Delcy. Can we get Delcy up? Let's get Delcy up. Delcy Rodriguez. A lot of people is like so shocked about the set change that Maduro had. I'm like, bro, these are probably changing his clothes 24/7. But Delcy Rodriguez, so basically there was this theory that people were saying that Delcy Rodriguez was the one that, hey, how's it going? How's it going, William? They were basically saying that Delcy Rodriguez was the traitor. And then we heard that there was actually a general that got the drop. You know what I mean? And he was Golupe. I forgot his name. Jesus, I didn't remember some of these people's name. And he was on the run. And they was trying to find him. You know what I mean? Delcy's family is very revolutionary. Their father was tortured by the last dictatorship before Chavez was able to overthrow that dictatorship. You know what I mean? She is a true believer. She is a true Chavista. And I see a lot of these progressives, they go along and they're like, oh, she was a betrayer. You know what I mean? All this nonsense. No, she wasn't. No, she wasn't. I want to talk about this because I think it's very, very important. It's like when we talk about people in these revolutionary movements, you know what I mean? And a lot of people had these persuasions, not persuasions, but they had this fantasy of what they think the way things should go down in a revolution. You know what I mean? The Black Panthers were good at what they did because they didn't just stay here in the United States. They went overseas and they visited places. They went overseas and they visited places that were in revolution. They met with Fidel Castro. They met with China. You know what I mean? They went to these places that were building socialism, and they saw guerrilla warfare before. You know what I mean? That's why they stood with Vietnam so much. You know what I mean? They understood because they actually got contacts. They actually experienced. This is what made the Black Panther Party so formidable because they actually looked into what they were studying and they practiced effectively. That is what Delcy legacy embodies, being a true revolutionary. So the fact that progressives and stuff are trying to say that she's a traitor, I just don't agree with that. Why? Because put yourself into her shoes. The most powerful military right now that we know of went into your country, killed 100 people as a distraction. It was that operation where they bombed Caracas. Maduro wasn't even around there. They went and got him at a compound that was adjacent from where they bombed. So the bombing was a distraction. The Venezuelan government and the people were shocked. They gave a shocked and awe demonstration. And they were trying to grab arms. People were trying to grab arms. They didn't know what to do because it's happening so fucking fast. You know what I mean? We didn't need to kill those people. We could have just sent sleeper cells and just distracted him. But no, they wanted to make a point, and they murdered those people because of that. And then they went on TV and told you that people are celebrating that their family got murdered, just like they're doing with Iran. But anyway, I don't want to get pissed off because I tell you, I really don't like talking about this shit, but I have to. So Delcy is dealing with the most powerful country in the world right now that has her government by the balls. She has two options. She either gives them the oil that they want and save more blood slaughter, or continue on fighting and get taken over, strategically defeat, because the Venezuelan army isn't as powerful as Iran's. The Venezuelan army isn't as powerful as China or Russia. The Venezuelan army is a formidable force. Don't get me wrong. If they went up in there and they had to fight them brothers in the mountains, them brothers in the mountains would be catching licks. It'll be like Vietnam. But millions of people died in Vietnam. Delcy doesn't want that for her country. I feel her on that. So you know what? She's like, you know what? They want the fucking oil. If you get put down the sanctions, you can have this damn oil. So she's reforming the oil policy. I ask people so many times when we get into these conversations, it's like they expect revolutionaries to do what they think a revolutionary should do instead of looking at the real problem, the real issue. Venezuela can't fight America right now. They're not strong enough. They're not. And they know that they can't. So they have to save their people. Look what America is doing to Iran right now. They're bombing neighborhoods, schools, hospitals, killing children, just like the Israelis were doing for 3 years straight and longer than that, because it's Jesus Christ. People need to read what the Israelis have been doing for the last 75 years. So I think she made the right move, honestly, in my opinion. I have a phone call. Sorry about that, guys. I'm about to go back to school. So I just graduated, but I'm about to go back to school. So I had a phone call with I was waiting on. Well, I'll just call them back. So, you know, Delcy deserves support. Left, progressives, communists, socialists. Delcy deserves support. And thank God that bitch that was saying that she was going to get oil to Israel and all this shit, bugging the fuck out. Thank God she didn't get put in office. Notice that she didn't get put in office. Because, you know, this regime change stuff, you know, I think America's done with it. I think America now just wants to balkanize these states. They want to keep them in chaos, keep mercenaries running it like they did with Syria, and they can take the resources, just like Epstein. In the Epstein files, that was the email that Epstein was talking about, where Gaddafi was brutally sodomized and murdered. They took the resources from Libya. They took them. That's what they want to do to Iran. They want to balkanize Iran. They want to balkanize Venezuela. They want to balkanize Cuba. They want to balkanize and steal and take. You know what I mean? That's what they want to do. So leave Delcy alone. Y'all don't know what that sister going through. Y'all don't know. Please leave Delcy alone. So this is my show. Thank you so much for coming on and being a part of this live stream. Please support Ebola. Shout out to the front of the show. Please support them. If you got a show, because I see you have a logo, CBC, please support CBC as well. Let's keep supporting each other. You know what I mean? Because that's how we can keep real information circulating while they lie to us on TV. And they get millions of dollars to lie to you on TV. That's all I have to say. Have a good day.
Blank period, yeah. On my black, brown, and indigenous. Gotta holler if you really feeling this. Gotta holler if you really real enough. Other rappers is delirious. Yeah, it's really that serious. Better holler if you really feeling me. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna live in abundance.